What's up, you guys? My name is Jacob with Lyrics for Events, and this is Table Talk. It's a raw and real take on what was, what is, and what could be. Today we got Mac Dillon, and we got Jay Dixon. So thank you guys for joining me on this one.
Yeah, dude.
So thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
So what Table Talk is it's a raw and real take on like what was, what is, and what could be. My questions are pretty simple. Like, you guys have been in the game for a long time. If you guys want to kind of introduce yourselves.
Man, I've been in the valley probably about maybe about 15 plus now, maybe. I've been out here for a while, man. I got in a little situation and shit, so I've been over here for a while, but yeah, I've been out here for about 15 years. Music wise, I've been doing music since I was probably about like 15. I didn't take it serious until I got over here though, for real.
Right.
Yeah, I've been over about 15 years.
Yeah, I think I've been here about the same time, actually. 2010 is actually when I first moved out here for the first time. So, been out here for a while now. I moved to Portland and then I moved back and I moved around a lot. But this last time I've been here for 10 years, 12 years going on, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been here for a minute.
No, we had a whole
Yeah, for real.
man.
We've been here.
No, that's awesome. And that's kind of why I wanted to kind of direct this to the people who have been here. With your career, you're producing, you're engineering.
It started off with just making beats. It started off with me rapping and selling mixtapes and merch and all that, and then started making beats. The beats took off to another level with the control beats and click funnels. Let's see. Then I started engineering, opened up Rapper Store. Was kind of like living in the shadow, it felt like, of 208 Music, because we're in the same building as 208 Music. So 5 years to get out of there. Rapper Store has kind of now evolved to an online only artist development course, resources, memberships, templates, kind of like an all-in-one spot, not just for rappers, but for producers and engineers. So focused online, and then we started going out to California more. People started seeing us go out there and wanted to book more sessions. So the sessions started taking off. I have a cryptocurrency company that I just opened. I do a lot of things. Right now I'm working on remodeling homes, literally hands in everything. I have 2 websites, macdillon.com, that is kind of focused more on me, my EPK, me as an artist as well, because I'm not trying to just be the producer behind the scenes. I'm an artist too. I want to be seen as an artist. I want to be seen next to the artist. I want to be as involved as I can be. Maybe I'm not writing lyrics, but I'm doing like a big part of this song anyway. So so I feel like when I see a lot of producers who are kind of sitting on the back end and say like, hey, the beat's down here, or I'm behind the artist.
Right.
And I think that they're selling themselves short. We look at the big producers and the biggest producers that we all look up to, the names that we know, they're like artists themselves. So they treat themselves like artists. Right. I'm really good with business, and I'm good at communicating with people from the streets too. So I know how to dance around and walk around safely in the trenches and still be, a positive asset to both communities. But I feel like each artist that I'm working with, because I do artist management as well. So I manage these artists and I show them business, the more business side of things, how to start making sales. Even just thinking, get an LLC, get a business account, and just start building a little bit of credit, and then get the EIN and then use that. Like, just like some little steps that a lot of rappers miss. Right. And when they're sitting around with their homies, they're not like thinking about this shit. Being able to be like, hey, day one, this is what you need to be thinking about, I think has been kind of my value in the studio.
Right. Because it is a business. I mean, as an artist, it's the same thing. It's a business.
And I treat every artist like I'm putting stock in their business. I don't want them underneath my umbrella. I want them to have a brand that's themselves, their own identity, their our own success. I'm just here to help put a little bit of maybe it's just guidance sometimes, maybe it's finance sometimes, maybe it could be a lot of different things, but that's what I'm trying to do. Is the artists I work with, Jay Dixon, ABM, Cody Morgan, the Colt, like those are other businesses, and I'm always like, hey guys, business first, music afterwards.
I like that.
I like being that guy.
That's good though.
Yeah.
As an artist with Mac, you feel all the energy to what you're doing as well?
Yeah, from the beginning, man. I feel like Matt has an ear and he knows, like I was saying off camera, the quality control thing.
Yeah.
He know what's up, man. When we first spoke in the studio, it was it's no different than me saying somebody send me some money for a verse, and me knowing that I don't really like the verse, I'm just doing it for the money.
Right.
It takes the enjoyment out of it for me. When I first met Matt, it was no different. He wasn't just trying to do it for the fun, just to take the money from him.
Right.
He want to be in there. He want to feel it too, pretty much. He want to be able to feel the music while he in there, because then it's not taken away from his love for it.
Correct.
When you're just doing this solely for the money, it's no love for real. At that point, it's a job.
Yeah.
You just doing it because you want that money. You know?
You had mentioned quality control.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your take on the quality control? How can this be better? And
for this area,
yeah.
When I look at it, like, you have to look at it like this. In this Idaho area, Boise, it has to be in the plans for it to be some type of hip hop mecca or some type of music mecca. And the reason why I say that is because there wouldn't be places like the Knit. There wouldn't be places like the Revolutionary Concert House.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be places like the Tree Fort. It wouldn't be places like those in areas like this if that's not what it was supposed to be. Yeah. So with that being said, quality control. And when I say quality control, once again, I'm gonna always stress this. That's not for me to say, stop doing music, you suck, you ain't good.
Right.
Again, that's when you need to get up under that artist development program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And let somebody out on the outside looking in critique you, see what they see instead of you just having your, because you can only see.
That's good.
Like you can only see but so much as the artist.
Right.
Mac on the outside looking in, he's gonna see something that I don't see. Yeah. Vice versa. With him doing what he does, I'm gonna see something that he doesn't see. So so basically my whole point in that was, so I'm not saying don't stop, don't do music no more. Right. But if you see that there are artists in the area that have that it factor right now,
right,
why wait?
Yeah.
Why wait? Because at the end of the day, you need to be pushing that quality control softly in those artists that we know that can go right now. Yeah. Versus saying, okay, we're gonna waste our time exerting these motherfucking resources on these artists that we know not ready yet.
Right.
That's a waste. We only got but so much money. Yeah. We starving artists. We're not rich artists. We don't start out like that. We are starving artists. So every penny that we make, it has to be accounted for. Mm-hmm. And if you see an artist or artists that got that it factor, why wait?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like that. Why wait?
It's on the promoters too.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's on the promoters too, because on top of the artist development courses and the managers and being real with yourself, these promoters out here especially have been on the same grind where it's selling slots. Selling slots. Who's got the money? Because they already booked the show. They already got the show idea. They're already hyped on the idea.
Yep. Right.
They already got a little money in.
They want to make their money back.
But they already put a time limit on. Now they have to make their money back. But now they put a time limit on making their money back, and they don't have anybody else actually backing. So they try to find it, and then they try to sell slots and tickets, hoping that ends up being a successful show. But when it comes to investing, there's always a chance that shit goes to zero. Same thing with these shows. I have seen successful shows be thrown out here in the big venues. My wife threw 3
That's
successful
good, man.
shows with
How
big
you doing,
artists. Yeah, man. Long time no see.
Yeah,
How are you?
Tell me how you, man.
So, it's possible, and I think what the idea is to get my idea is to get promoters to think of themselves also like an artist slash business, but you're playing a different role. So,
Right.
if these promoters had other ways to get money, right? Sponsorships are going to be a big one for sure. Get the sponsorships before you have the date. That's going to be. I think we learned that mistake early on, where it's like, hey, that date, setting that date, actually kind of rushes us, and it throws off the dynamic of getting a sponsorship. We almost got one from Top Crop, real close, but
Right.
it didn't go through, and it was just the timing didn't work out. So timing doesn't work out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Remove that element and come up with the plan, get hyped, and then get the sponsors involved, and then be like, hey, sponsors, when is a good time? When should we do this?
Mhm.
Leave that up to them. Hey, this is going to be how this. You're paying for the artist to come here, the $5,000, and you're getting promotion. So how long do you want my street team to be pushing this flyer
Mhm.
with your name on it? Boom, and then start getting those sponsorships. That'll be money that comes in. Get your own merch. The merch is a big game right now. You could be somebody who does not know how to rap, and you
And
can
you have
get
merch.
up today and make a merch business.
And it'll pop.
Go to all the shows. I've seen it done here before. Go to all the shows, kick at the studios, give all the rappers the t-shirt, have all of them wear.
Boom.
It's gonna be
Right.
good, bro. Sell the merch. Take donations.
Right.
Do raffle tickets. What else do live shows where you can make money? Find some way to split bar sales with the bar.
I think the number one money getter at shows is merch.
Merch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Merch is the number other
Yes.
than the actual building and their liquor sales and all that. You know, they're gonna eat off of that.
Yeah.
And then the door. But as an artist, that number one is the merch. The
Yeah.
merch game gotta be A1.
And the promoters got to be seen. Be seen. Wear something nice. Go shake hands with everybody.
I know we had spoke.
You're the party guy.
So we had spoke a minute back. Also, as well as the promoters with the quality control thing, I think like you were saying, they know that they have to reach a certain deadline. They stress and they trying to get money back. So now you putting again, this is a show we have. This is not just you throwing this person on because you know this person gonna pay you some money so you can cover that. Sorry, I'm not sorry. If he sucks and he's not ready yet, then don't waste his time because the crowd don't take his money. You know what you're doing.
Right.
Don't be a vulture. That's all you're doing at that point. You just been a culture vulture
Right.
at that point. You taking money from a person that ain't ready yet,
Right.
and they gonna look crazy when they get up there.
Throw the whole game off.
You gonna throw the whole show off because by the time they get to the headliner, they about ready to leave the venue.
Yeah.
Because you
They're
got
already
10
gone.
opening acts up
Right.
there that ain't hitting on nothing.
And you
They're
do it
already
for
gone.
enough years, you're creating an entire
A system.
system. That's
Yes,
right.
it's
Yeah.
a system. I can get these artists. Everybody wants to rap. We know that. So you know this artist is instead of telling this artist, hey, take that money right there, put it towards an artist development package,
Right.
so that we can critique you and get you better.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna take their money, and then they ain't got
And
nothing to
stunt their
show,
growth.
and they have nothing to show for it after that point.
Right.
Yeah, you can have your merch and you can sell all your merch and stuff, but does that make you better as an artist?
Right.
It don't. It don't
What
make you
happens
better as
the
an
day
artist.
after a show?
Yeah,
don't
you
feel shit.
right back to ground zero.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the people gonna be standing in the crowd probably looking at you like you crazy. Like, how did he even get up here on this stage?
Right.
Knowing that he wasn't ready, and that's not me taking away from anything. But we got to be real here, and this is how we get quality control.
Right.
This is how we're gonna be able to get this state to the place where we want to get it at.
And if you're an artist and you're paying for a slot and you think that is a good investment, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's a bad business.
I feel like this. If you're an artist and you ain't got a team around you for one, that's already a bad thing for me anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Because your team ain't gonna let you get on that stage and look crazy.
Mm.
You may get up on that stage and look crazy, but if you got some real ones around you,
Mm-hmm.
they ain't gonna let you get on that stage. They're gonna tell you, hey, take that money, put it into this right here,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna see where we at in a few months. And we got these
Right.
artists right here, right now, that's ready to go. We're gonna throw them out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the only way that Idaho gonna go where they need to go. Nobody can tell me that this place is not meant for this because, like I said, it wouldn't have those 3 places or those places that I just said.
Yeah,
exactly.
We wouldn't have Boise Music Festival. Like,
Right.
come on, bro. Like, it wouldn't happen. What it is though, it's the quality control thing. That's what we lack.
Yeah.
That's why P and them did with that label, quality control. It was the best thing ever. If it ain't no quality control, then we gonna be shit. We gonna stay in this same state that we in.
Yeah.
Starving artists.
Yeah. And there were people before us too. Like there was a time when I first started doing music where I was the young kid.
No, we need this, man. Like we need it, man. Like I'm not a hater at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love everybody. Like I have even found myself being a part of the problem. And what I mean by that is liking stuff that I know and I don't really like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to show love.
Yeah.
But that's not helping us.
Yeah.
That ain't helping us at all.
Right.
We need motherfuckers like this right here that's gonna be like, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go to the drawing board and see what we can come up with. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's obligated to get big. Nobody. It's not something that has to happen. It's gonna be. We gotta be real, and you really got to have what it takes for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really have to. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's gonna have to be.
I was a new guy for a long time. So when I first started coming around, there was people before me. I'm not even going to name any names, but they were heavy and they still probably to this day look at me as the new guy coming into the game. But I think that's done some good for me and has done some bad for me. To the point where so I always said that, like, and you've heard this probably a million times, but it's like we're out here on a deserted island. We're all trying to gather resources. We're supposed to be working together to get off of this island. But you start seeing people's faults and people's strengths, and you start seeing just real life and everything come into place. So sometimes there will be people who they see you kind of come up and maybe you pass them in certain areas and they'll start, I don't want to say gatekeeping because there's not really much to gatekeep out here, but it's the same thing on an island. They'll lie about their resources, they'll hide their resources, and they'll think that these resources are so rare and hard to come by, especially out here, that if they do come by one of these resources, the only people that they can put on is their inner circle. So their inner circle is getting put on, but everybody on the outside looks at that like, oh, hey, they're just clicking up and they don't want to actually share resources. Right. Realistically, there aren't as many resources. You gotta flip rocks underneath and try to find a coconut. That's literally what it's like out here. So I get it, to where the tribes and people feel like they have this outcast system. Like, I think people would say it about me and Rapper Store, us all the time. They feel like they're on the outside and they can't get in. But it's not even like that. It's just what realistically is a good business move. Every single person that sends me a resume to be an audio engineer, I read these resumes, and a lot of the time, they don't actually, they're not somebody worth hiring right now, or they'll give me their EPK. I say, all right, I'll keep you in mind, but right now I don't have the resources to give to you, because I don't really look around and see much. Honestly, we started going and finding resources other places and bringing them back here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they'll hit me up and they'll just be like, are you in Cali or are you in Idaho? People don't even know where I am half the time. And I'm usually just like,
they don't need to.
Yeah, they don't need to. I mean, honestly, I live in Idaho. You are. I love Boise. You'll never hear me hating on Boise. I'll probably be here raising my kids forever. But working out here, you got to go out and find other resources. And you can't just if you're the guy that has the Knitting Factory show on lock and you only give the same 3 people the Knitting Factory slots, that is that is not gatekeeping, but that is definitely hiding your resources,
Right.
and you're not helping other people who come out and be like, hey, I'm hungry. Like, they're hungry. Don't necessarily give them a slot, but make them fucking work for it.
Exactly.
Make them think that, hey, in Hollywood, people aren't doing that type of shit. They're hungry, and they're not. The one person who might have 1 million followers that you just run across through in the streets is still as hungry as the person who's got 1,000 followers. And this guy is not gatekeeping this guy. They're working together and they're sharing resources because they're everywhere.
Right.
So start being like that out here, and it will be actually, because like you said, these venues, these kids, they're coming up, but we got to give them something that they can strive to accomplish. Like, no, you don't need $300 to open up for fucking so and so, right? You don't need that. What you need to do is go get some fans, enough fans that will actually buy tickets from you, throw your own little show at Shredder, because you could start at Shredder, rent that shit out with your homies, fill that out, then go to a promoter and be like, hey, look what I did.
Yes.
Boom, look what I did. Put me on a slot and I'm going to sell tickets for you. After I sell this many tickets, because you're a business too, after I sell this many tickets, I would like to talk to you about getting a percentage of these ticket sales. But you can't just come in and be like, oh, I'm going to give you $500, I need a slot. That's not how it works everywhere.
It's business.
$500 for a slot. You believe that shit?
I've heard it. So
Man,
many
they
times.
charge the state charges like $600 for a slot.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna put no names out there, but yeah, $600 for a
And
slot. You've been a vulture at that.
That's
bro.
crazy.
Yes,
That's nuts.
That's
It's a
absolute,
vulture, man. And the minute that you go on a flyer, they supposed to pay you.
Right.
That's how it used to be.